Hello, Mr. George. How much you pay for S55? $20. No good. No good operator. I'm just fucking around, guys. That was a joke. So, if you guys remember, 2 weeks ago we had a blue F80 that was in here with the built engine, the whole nine, and manual transmission. This one behind me is also a manual. This is an F82. And this manual transmission and the blue F80 blew apart, presumably is what caused the correlation codes and the pinned hub spun. Now, it got a little difficult. Went through a nightmare with that blue F80 because after we drilled for a 4-pin, replaced the crank hub, obviously, got everything back together, we still had two codes. Rather, one code, then we fought another code. But both of these codes were for the Vanos unit, our cam gears, installation faulty codes. All right, so now this is the cam gear that we have out of the blue F80. It's not out of the F82 that's behind me here. But what I can tell you is this F82 has a exhaust cam gear installation faulty that only popped up after adaptations were reset due to a fuel injector being replaced. So there's a lot of folks out there that clear the adaptations on an N55, S55, whether you do it with ISTA or bootmod or MHD, whatever the case might be. You clear the adaptations and then this installation faulty code comes back. I read one poor soul who took his car to the dealer and ultimately ended up, they replaced $10,000 worth of parts. I think they replaced the cylinder head. And he was advocating not to clear your DME adaptations. Presumably because this is a problem that's strictly related to the adaptations being reset. It's not a problem, it's related. You have to know the difference between the two. They're defined differently. Now, with that being said, the primary problem here is that this also being a manual transmission that also failed, more than likely, all right, that exhaust cam gear is going to be first in line before the intake that is going to receive any sort of shock load that happens from that transmission failing and locking up for whatever that time might be, a tenth of a second, right? So the issue is you clear the adaptations, the DME has volatile memory, and it is going to now be reset and look for different parameters from our cam position sensor, all right? So now what's happening is that code only came back after the adaptations were reset. My assumption here, I could be entirely wrong, because that exhaust cam gear was no good ever since the transmission failed, and now because the DME is looking for a different value from that cam position sensor, that exhaust cam gear is never going to be able to feed to that cam position sensor. Now we have this installation faulty code. So we're going to tear it apart, replace the exhaust cam gear, and we should be all good. Stay tuned.